Hello and welcome to ANNA's Fast 15, a virtual training module designed to help you and your chapter succeed. As always, the success of ANNA depends on the volunteer leaders, so thank you for your commitment to ANNA. This module is entitled ANNA Volunteer Officers Basics. We hope this virtual training module will give you a better understanding of how to be a successful ANNA leader. We promise to keep it to just 15 minutes or less because we know how valuable your time is. So, what are the skills a volunteer leader needs? Well, time is the first thing that comes to mind. As with any volunteer role, time commitment is based on what effort you put into helping your chapter members and ANNA succeed. Time is a commodity, especially with work, family, social, and the many other activities of life, so a volunteer needs to be organized, committed, passionate, and knowledgeable about ANNA. Some of the usual tasks include attending the VLW, completing the ANNA online educational modules, like this Fast 15, and knowing where and how to find things on the internet, especially the ANNA website. Getting a head start on your chapter officer year starts with working with the current and past chapter officers to learn more about your role. It is strongly encouraged that the incoming and outgoing officers hold a business meeting in January to initiate a chapter work plan. Don't know how to do a work plan? Well, have no fear, there's a Fast 15 to help you on your way. As your year progresses, you will need to participate in chapter and ANNA webinars and conference calls, plan and promote chapter educational activities, and communicate with your members via ANNA Connected, and encourage them to communicate with each other, also using ANNA Connected. You will need to review and respond to all communications from ANNA national officers and committees. Sounds like a lot, and of course there will be barriers, time being the biggest one of all. Sometimes it'll feel like you're the only one doing anything for your ANNA chapter. Remember, you are not alone. There are over 100 chapters, and many of the officers have been going through and are going through the same trials and tribulations that you could be facing. As always, there is the ANNA Chapter Support Team, pronounced ASSIST. This is a committee of appointed ANNA leaders with proven track records who have had many years of experience as volunteer leaders within ANNA. Each chapter has an assigned ASSIST team member. Polite persistence is always key. Follow up with members who have volunteered to help, but always remember to be a cheerleader for ANNA. Blank work plan and examples of work plans. First, you must sign on to the ANNA website. Click Login at the top of the page and fill in your username and password. Let's start with the tabs across the top of the home page. About ANNA has many of the resources you need. You can find information about the association, information for membership, learn more about leadership, and also learn more about chapters. The Education tab has information on the online library, CNE activities, any events that ANNA is holding, and it will have ANNA education modules and the ANNA education services. The Clinical Practice tab has information on the practice, such as our scope of practice, standards of practice, any fact sheets that ANNA might have. Also has information on any grants and awards, research, and jobs. The Health Policy tab is your one-stop for all your advocacy issues. It also has resources and tools, like your Take Action, so that you can write letters via CapWiz to your elected officials. It talks about the health policy events that ANNA holds, such as a workshop or virtual lobby day. It also has the regulations that are used by states for the different dialysis populations. The last tab is the Resources tabs. This has all sorts of exciting and interesting things on it. For instance, the CNE opportunities with the education modules, journal articles, or to get to the online library. It also is the place you go to find ANNA products or special projects and tools, such as Save the Vein campaign. It also has the Members Only section, where you can find the members directory, get your membership card reprinted, and find the ANNA policy and procedure manual. That was just a quick overview. I now want to go back to About ANNA, Chapters, then Chapter Officers Only. This is your most valuable resource. You will find all you need to be a successful ANNA leader here in this section. The Chapter Officers Only section is your volunteer leader's toolbox. Remember this and refer to it often. From the Chapter Officers Only section, you'll be able to request chapter resources, get a chapter directory, find out who your assigned assist team member is, learn your chapter roles and responsibilities, also have access to how-to guides, and learn how to submit chapter reports and activities, and actually submit those reports from this section. You also have the ANNA Update Article Submission form here. You'll find more about star points and also submit star points in this section. You'll find calendars to help you plan your years and information about ANNA events. You'll also see the recharter requirements and get all the tools you need to be a successful ANNA officer. Do you have a love-hate relationship with computers? Well, that might be a problem. Being a volunteer leader can be stressful, and if you hate computers, it might be overwhelming. So there are real live people available to help you. If at all possible, try to attend the VLW, our Volunteer Leaders Workshop, which is held prior to the National Symposium. You'll meet other chapter officers, national leaders, and community members at the VLW, and you will find your perfect mentor. As I mentioned before, you always have a member of the assist team assigned to your chapter. This person is here to help you be successful, be a shoulder to lean on, and an ear to chew on. ANNA is also fortunate to have a wonderful national office staff, Anthony J. Giannetti. AJJ has staff that works full-time for ANNA. Reach out to them, especially the chapter support managers and assistants. Those are some of the many resources available to volunteer leaders. Now let's talk tasks. I once heard it said that on a unit that is short-staffed, you can always count on all the patients being bathed, the bed linens being changed, and meds being passed. Nurses are great at tasks and multitasking. So what are the volunteer leaders' tasks? Well, let's talk about membership lists. Remember, these are confidential, and ANNA has a policy on the use of them. So do not share them with others and use them for chapter business only. If you send out emails, use the BCC or blind copy field to enter the email addresses of those you are sending the email to. You can access member lists in the Chapter Officer Only section. Prior to the VLW, or when you were elected or appointed or got the role by default, until April, begin working with the officer currently in the role you will take over. Complete the ANNA Governance Fast 15 and the Fast 15 that is specific to your role. It is also nice to complete the other officers' Fast 15s so you know how each of the officer fits into the puzzle. Make getting to the VLW a priority. Check to see what funding is available nationally and at the chapter level to help make this a possibility. If more funds are needed, work with the other officers on fundraising activities. Meet with the outgoing and other incoming officers at a business meeting at the start of the year to start your chapter work plan. Write down any questions you have and bring them with you to the VLW. During the VLW, attend all the sessions, represent your chapter well, meet your assigned assist team member, and network as much as possible. Did you miss the VLW? Well, start planning now to get next year's officers to it. Work closely with other chapter officers, both officers in your chapter and other chapters, and do not forget your assist team members. Reach out, ask for help. After your term begins, review ANNA's policy and procedures. Ask your chapter president about a chapter business meeting. Review the quarterly calendar found in the Officer Only section. Become familiar with the ANNA deadlines and create a calendar system that works for you. Remember the email etiquette that I talked about already. Use the blind copy for regular emails, or better yet, use ANNA Connected to communicate with your chapter members. ANNA Connected is the preferred way to communicate with members. You don't need to worry about the blind copy with ANNA Connected. To access, click on the logo at the bottom of the ANNA homepage. Don't know how to use ANNA Connected? Well, that's another Fast 15. Communication can take many forms, though. You can create a chapter newsletter and send it out via snail mail or attach it to an ANNA Connected message. Some chapters have even created websites and Facebook accounts. Reach out to those chapters to help on how to get started using this type of media. There's a link to all the chapter websites under the ANNA and chapters. Remember that surveys have told us the most common reason for low attendance and participation at the chapter level is lack of communication from the chapter officers to their members. Always, always, always allow prior notification for a meeting, then follow up at 2 weeks, 1 week, and several days before the event. Want to know more about what your members want? Well, the National Office has surveys that can be sent out to the members to help find this information. Also, remember to utilize and ask volunteers to assist you. One of the most important things an officer needs to do is make sure his or her chapter meets recharter. ANA has made this ridiculously easy to do. A chapter must hold at least one business meeting, 2 educational meetings, one of which supplies continuing education credits, and submit the 2 financial reports and chapter profile by the deadlines. These recharter requirements will help your chapter meet ANA's strategic plan, which was discussed in detail in the Fast 15 about ANA governance. Here is a list of the required and requested reports. The chapter profile, which tells who the officers are going to be for the upcoming year, is due January 15th. The National Office needs this information to send the Volunteer Leaders Workshop invitations to these officers. The calendar year-end report is also due January 15th, and the fiscal year-end report is due April 15th. The National Office needs this information to send financial records to the Internal Revenue Service. If a chapter fails to submit these reports, then the chapter becomes responsible to the IRS. The business and educational meeting summaries are due within 30 days of the event. Some requested reports include update article submissions by the 1st of February, April, June, August, October, and December. Update articles are a great way to celebrate your chapter success and advertise your events. Chapter work plans can be submitted 3 times a year and earn star points. The first submission is the initial or draft work plan that is a collaboration between the incoming and outgoing chapter officers and due in February. The final work plan is due in May after the incoming officers have had a chance to tweak it at the VLW and get it updated. Also, then the last submission is the updated or how has your chapter done in meeting your goals is due in November. Don't know how to enter reports or completed a work plan? Well, have no fear. There's a Fast 15 about both of these subjects. Each month or every other month, your assigned assist team member will send you a STAR report. Make sure that your meetings, summaries, reports, and work plans are recorded. If not, contact your assist team member and the manager of chapter services at the National Office. All these STAR points add up, and your chapter could win a STAR award. There are 11 STAR awards available. The outstanding chapter looks at point totals only. The top 3 chapters with the most points will be in the running for this award. The assist team members will vote to determine the winner. There's a chapter STAR award in each of the STAR categories, and there are 5 categories: education, advocacy, evidence-based practice, leadership, and membership. The top STAR earners in each of these categories will be in the running for one of the $1,000 awards. In addition to chapter STAR awards, there are Rising Star awards. The Rising Stars are awarded in each of the categories also. And the assist team members will actually nominate chapters from their group for a Rising Star award. The group will vote to determine the winners of each one of the categories. Now there are some rules. No one chapter can win more than one category or award in a year, and they are not in the running for that same category for the following year. And it also takes them out of the running for the Rising Star award in that category for the next year. For example, your chapter won the Advocacy Star Award this year. Now, next year, your chapter cannot win the Advocacy Star Award, and it cannot win the Advocacy Rising Star Award. But your chapter can win one of the other categories for a Chapter Star or a Rising Star. Don't know how to enter star points? Have no fear, there's a Fast 15 to help you do that. That is a paper trail you will need to follow as a chapter officer. Just like in nursing, if it's not documented, it's not done. So make sure to document your meetings and your star points. Some additional soft skills include being a leader. Make sure to interact with your chapter members. Let them know the vital role they play in creating a healthy chapter. Encourage participation in chapter activities and have a good attitude. Be a mentor. Always have an eye out for the next ANA leader and encourage non-members to join. Basically, you need to be a role model. Talk the talk and walk the walk, and pass the ANA torch. Remember, our profession is changing, and ANA is changing too. We must keep up with the times to avoid becoming obsolete. These are the steps to success. Review everything. Get on the ANA website and look at the Chapter Officers Only section. Contact your assist team member, and the national office. Find a mentor. Use all the wonderful tools ANA has to offer. Get your year off on the right foot by holding a chapter business meeting and getting your work plan started. Know yourself and your team members and allow for the human factor. Our lives are constantly changing priorities. Know this and cut yourself and your fellow officers some slack. Make sure to share the workload and recruit the volunteers to help you. Still have questions? Well, have no fear. Assist is here, your ANA chapter support team. We are dedicated to helping you and your chapter succeed. You can find the Assist chapter member who is assigned to your chapter in the Chapter Officers Only section. Well, that has been a Fast 15. Make sure you go back to the Chapter Officers Only section and complete the short Fast 15 survey. We use the information from the survey to get valuable feedback, additional ideas, and learn more about what you need as a chapter officer to succeed. Also, we award star points for your chapter for any officer who has completed a Fast 15. Thank you, and have a great ANA year.